Hello and welcome. You're watching News9 Live with me, Neha Khanna. Also joining me in the studio is my colleague Sudha Sadanand. On the show, we're going to focus on the state of Tamil Nadu. The Election Commission has accepted the elevation of E Palaniswami as the Aiadmk General Secretary and allotted the two-leaf symbol to him. That's what the Tamil Nadu party announced today. This when the Madras High Court resumed the hearing into his rival camp's plea over the leadership of the party. A party spokesperson tweeted that the poll panel had accepted the amendments to the Aiadmk bylaws, the General Secretary election and the appointment of new office bearers. E Palaniswami, a former Chief Minister, was elected General Secretary on the 28th of March, soon after the Madras High Court rejected all petitions filed by OPS and his aides against the resolutions of the 11th July 2022 Party General Council and the conduct of the General Secretary election. Just today, a division bench of the Madras High Court heard a plea by deposed leader O Pannirselvam against his expulsion from the party last year and the elevation of EPS. But the decision by the poll panel as of now effectively means that the question of the Aiadmk's leadership has been settled and it is the end of the road for OPS within the Aiadmk, unless the Madras High Court thinks otherwise and later overturns the decision of the Election Commission or reverses the expulsion of O Palaniswami. The question is, O Pannirselvam, I beg your pardon. The question is, what does this mean for the Dravidian party and its future? Can EPS take the Aiadmk forward? A party founded and led by stalwarts and political icons like the charismatic MGR and Jayalalitha. To talk about that, as I mentioned, I'm joined in the studio by my colleague Sudha Sadanand. Also joining us is senior journalist Venkat Narayan, and we'll be joined in a moment by S. Muralidharan, political analyst. Sudha, if I could begin with you. As a Tamil Nadu watcher, what does this development really mean in your assessment?
I think the end of this endless saga of EPS versus OPS, Neha. This has been going on for the longest time, and I think that right from the time that the last elections took place in Tamil Nadu, it's been going on, and I think it really affected them because, amongst other reasons, of course, because there was no single leadership that was being seen. And after that, they went to court, there were open fights, fisticuffs amongst also cadre. So now the thing is that now it's at least cemented, now it's final that, Palaniswami takes over as General Secretary, and now I think the party will have some kind of, a finality to it, that he's the one. And let's not forget, he has the support of the cadres, support of a lot of people, and also his performance during the fag end of his chief ministership was rather impressive. He managed COVID very well, and he's somebody who's seen as a man who's actually risen. I mean, he has no so-called legacies to speak of. I mean, he's not a Jayalalitha or an MGR, Neha. Exactly. So yeah, it's good for the party, Neha.
You believe it is good for the party and it has a degree of finality to it. Venkat Narayan, come in here. Do you believe, as Sudha believes, that this decision by the Election Commission to accept EPS's elevation as Party General Secretary and allotment of the two-leaf symbol to him once and for all settles the leadership question as far as the Aiadmk is concerned, while the Madras High Court is still hearing the petitions that have been filed by OPS and his aides? Those essentially pertain to his expulsion from the party. Do you believe that as far as the leadership question is concerned, it is now more or less settled?
Well, you could say that it's more or less settled as far as the election symbol is concerned. But OPS is now planning to have a conference in Trichy on the 24th of this month. There is a possibility of his floating his own party. How far that will be successful, how far it will be able to win the mandate of the people, we have to see. That will be proved only when an election takes place. But it's very clear now with the Election Commission announcing that the symbol goes to EPS and he is the General Secretary of the party. So as of now, until the Madras High Court gives a judgment contrary to this, it is now settled that EPS is the leader of the AIADMK, and the two leaves symbol goes to the AIADMK.
Sudha, I'll bring you in here. They say it's never over till it's over, especially perhaps in Tamil Nadu
Absolutely.
politics, and I think you understand that better than most others. But do you believe that this Madras High Court order, which is awaited, could have a significant bearing on the future of EPS, OPS and the AIADMK? Because even as we talk about how the leadership issue may have been settled for now by the Election Commission, do you believe a verdict from the Madras High Court, let's say restoring the membership of OPS, could change things going forward?
It could. I mean, there is the situation that you present, Neha. It could very well be that the situation could, you know, completely alter, because we do not know what the honorable courts are going to say, is going to say rather. But you know, there is one thing: political parties are not really decided in courts; they are decided amongst cadre. And as of now, even as we speak, I think Palaniswami Yedapadi has a huge support from the cadre. Somewhere, you know, he's been validated, whereas OPS has a ragtag, you know, a group of people who are with him. And like the senior journalist was saying, Mr. Venkat Narayanan, that, you know, he may do something there, but nothing is going to come to fruition. He will forever be seen as someone who's disgruntled.
He will always be seen as someone who is disgruntled. Sudha certainly seems to believe that EPS is the man who enjoys popular support of the party cadres. Let me now bring in political analyst S. Muralidharan into the conversation. Mr. Muralidharan, welcome to the show. How do you look at today's crucial decision by the Election Commission, in a sense accepting the elevation of E Palaniswami as the AIADMK General Secretary and allotting the two-leaf symbol to his faction? Would you say this is the end of the road for OPS as far as the AIADMK is concerned?
The end of the road for OPS happened actually a few years ago. So this is the confirmation part. You know, the courts have accepted it. High Court as well as Supreme Court. Then we have the Election Commission also accepting, because they didn't have any choice. Now that the two-leaf symbol is with them, and it is almost end of the road for OPS, but you know, he will not go down that easily, because see, this man has been, you know, what do you say? He's not been a great politician as such. He has been playing the caste politics always, and you know, he's got petty ideas. Like, you know, this was understood the day he ransacked the you know, ADMK office, which was like the temple for them, right? For the party. That ADMK office was like a temple, and he was, you know, disgruntled. He was unhappy with EPS when EPS was holding a meeting in a different place outside the city. He and his you know, supporters went and ransacked the place. So that showed, you know, this immaturity is you know, his incapabilities. So people, I think 95% of the people are with EPS, and that's proved everywhere. And let's not forget, as Sudha said, you know, EPS did govern excellently the last 1 year of his tenure. Probably he was coming out of the shadow of Jayalalitha, so that was the reason why you know, he could not initially, but satisfy everybody, because there were too big shoes to fill. But post that, he did a fantastic job for almost like a year and a half. And people compare that with Stalin today. Today, if you compare the current dispensation, the ruling of Stalin versus EPS, EPS is way above. Stalin is in the current state affairs is terrible, and Stalin has no control over law and order or any other functioning of the state.
You know, though one significant difference between the current Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and the former Chief Minister EPS is that Stalin comes from an illustrious political family. He has a huge legacy behind him. We will get into that in just a moment. But Venkat Narayan, I want to ask you this. You know, Mr. Muralidharan also seems to think that OPS will probably continue to wage this political battle. Do you believe that there are any significant options really left for him? Yes, the matter pertaining to his expulsion from the party is still pending before the Madras High Court, but Muralidharan also seems to think that his innings in the AIADMK is pretty much over. Is that your view as well, or do you believe that a lot could still change?
Well, EPS has proven his abilities as an administrator at the height of COVID. And the cadres are with EPS, and the symbol, two-leaf symbol, has gone to him. And the symbol was, if you remember, launched by M.G. Ramachandran after he broke away from Karunanidhi and floated the AIADMK. So the people of Tamil Nadu are familiar with the two leaves symbol since 1972, that is 51 years, for the last 51 years. And M.G. Ramachandran successfully contested elections, defeated Karunanidhi, and he ruled the state for 10 years. And after the brief struggle between Jayalalitha and MGR's legal wife, the party lost, DMK came to power, but Jayalalitha became the chief minister, and she ruled the state for 14 years. 6 times she has been the chief minister. So the people associate the AIADMK with the two-leaf symbol, and Tamil Nadu's literacy rate among men is 80% and women about 70+%. So, it matters a lot, the symbol, for people who are not educated. So that is also very important. So whoever has a 51-year-old election symbol with them, and whose leaders ruled that country, the state for 24 years plus, it's very clear that EPS has a great advantage. And the fact that the AIADMK has an understanding with the current ruling party, the BJP in Delhi, also will, give a great morale booster. Neha?
That's interesting, and you're quite right. The fact that EPS now has the two-leaf symbol certainly means that the Election Commission has cemented his position as the undisputed leader of the party, and in the process handed him a big win. Sudha, let me come back to you. You said, and Mr. Muralidhar agrees with you, that EPS had a pretty stellar track record. You believe as Chief Minister he handled COVID, for example, very well. But I want you to look at the bigger picture for our viewers for a moment. Let's step back and look at what EPS is really dealing with. Would you agree, Sudha, that he has very large shoes to fill? Tamil Nadu is one state where the tallest political leaders have been larger than life, charismatic figures like MGR and Jayalalitha. And for somebody like EPS, who came out of nowhere and, as you mentioned, rose through the ranks with no illustrious political legacy backing him, how difficult or challenging do you think it is likely to be for somebody like EPS to, in a sense, measure up to the likes of MGR and Jayalalitha and instill confidence in the party cadres that he has it in him to take Jayalalitha's and MGR's legacy forward?
The thing is that you're absolutely right. He doesn't have that illustrious legacy, as it were. But the point is that in his own bastion and amongst, his caste and the region, I think he has really consolidated his position brilliantly. And amongst other things, what really stands out for me, Neha, is that it just, 2-3 days ago when BJP is in alliance with them, with the AIADMK, and he commented about Annamalai, and when he was talking to the press, he said, ask me any question, but ask me about matured politicians. I'm not going to comment about Annamalai. It takes a lot of guts, Neha, for someone to say that. For me, that almost, made me look up and say that here is a man who may perhaps be able to overcome most of the impediments and hurdles as he goes along, because during his first, like I said, I was there during the last elections. I saw the kind of crowds which came for him, and it's only because, not speaking about who won, but I'm talking about the people said, did a very good job so far as COVID is concerned, was very honest so far as the alliance with the BJP was concerned. I mean, he was never going to toe the line. He's very, very clear about it. And also, I think EPS is a very intelligent man. I think most of the time he keeps it very close to his heart. He doesn't reveal it, Neha. That's the most important thing. So I have, you know, I think he's going to have a stellar track record going.
Yes, an astute politician indeed, Sudha.
Yeah.
Mr. Muralidharan, come in here. The general election is now barely a year away. The Aiadmk is in an alliance with the ruling party at the centre, the BJP. But as Sudha said, that EPS is his own man. He refuses to toe anybody's line. How do you see this alliance playing out in the 2024 elections? And what could that mean for the future of the Aiadmk?
You should, connect the dots. The dig he took at Annamalai is a very clear sign. We have nothing to do with you guys. Even the last by-election, we discussed this Sudha some time back. When we spoke about the last by-election, you know, there was something like 40,000 votes of Muslims at stake. And 90% of them voted. So that's something like, 36,000 of them voted. That was the difference between DMK and ADMK. So as long as BJP and ADMK is going to align, they're going to, like the Indian crab scenario, they're going to pull EPS down. If they set him free and say there is no alliance, BJP, probably a backdoor you have an alliance, whatever. But in the front end, if you're going to have an alliance with BJP, ADMK will never win in Tamil Nadu. You take it in writing. Okay. So the strategy for him is to alienate, slowly push them away. So the first dig at Annamalai came with this background. Now, future, I would see EPS is very clear because last time he gave them some 20 seats in the assembly elections and they won 4. The rest 16, we don't even know who are the faces except for Annamalai. So that's a kind of scenario for BJP in Tamil Nadu. Even if you give 234 seats, contest the entire assembly, they don't have more than 15-20 people whom they can call, contenders.
So can I ask you this follow-up question then? Since you are saying that it would be in the Aiadmk's own interest to sever ties with the BJP, because as long as this alliance is alive, there is no way the people of Tamil Nadu are going to vote the Aiadmk back to power. But that is as far as the assembly election goes, and that's still a few years away. What do you think is likely to happen ahead of 2024? Do you see the end of this alliance in the next 1 year itself?
I see that because if this, whether it's assembly or it's going to be a parliamentary election, the result is going to be the same as long as they are in alliance. Because BJP is not growing; it's actually going down day by day. They don't have a proper structure. They don't have booth level people working. It's still in a skeleton structure here and there. They have some people who can just talk. Annamalai is aggressive. He keeps, taking a dig at Stalin. But that's not going to win him votes. All these antics, that's going to not win them. It's like ground reality. The number of people you have in each booth, that's what will determine your victory. And today, people are unhappy with Stalin for a couple of reasons. Starting from the law and order, which is terrible. So there's so many deaths and encounters, which is happening every second day, which we unheard of. And the law and order is under Mr. Stalin. That's one. Second is the number of allegation charges Annamalai has leveled against the Stalin's family and his set of ministers. Add to this, Mr. PTR Thiagarajan's yesterday's video which came, audio which leaked out, where he is blabbering to some, journalists in Delhi about how Stalin's son and his son-in-law have been making a lot of money, which the entire party had not made so far, but they don't know how to hide it. So these are, so it's like a testimony that we are corrupt. So they're going to go down. No?
Ultimately, it is, of course, for the people of Tamil Nadu to decide whether that is a big enough election issue for them. But Sudha, you want to weigh in on this? Very interesting. Mr. Muralidharan says, sooner or later, EPS will have no choice but to dump the BJP if he is to win any election in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, it's very, very clear. He said it earlier also that, this alliance is not working for us. And his recent comment where it was really, he was, shooting from the hip, and he said very clearly that so far as Annamalai is concerned, don't ask me questions about that. Annamalai, on the other hand, also said that we are not a caged parrot, we are free, we want to fly. So, he has not, he said it, but, not so openly. But I think credit to Aiadmk Palaniswami that he said it there and then Do not ask me questions. So I think this alliance, this marriage of convenience is now...
It's dead in the water.
It's dead in the water.
And
Absolutely.
perhaps this snub is a precursor
Yeah.
to the end
Yeah.
of that alliance. Last word to you, Mr. Venkat Narayan. Sir, quick response. I put this question to Sudha earlier. I want to ask you the same question. The fact that EPS is now leading the party of MGR and Jayalalitha, larger than life figures. Do you see that as a challenge for EPS going forward?
Yeah, obviously, you're succeeding people with a larger than life image like MGR and Jayalalitha. It's not going to be easy, that's absolutely clear.
Okay.
But you see, Jayalalitha and MGR had a great equation with the people, and they successfully managed an alliance with the Congress party. Indira Gandhi and MGR had an excellent
Okay, I'm so sorry, sir, to interrupt you, but we have some breaking news coming in, so we will have to conclude this discussion here. Mr. Muralidharan, Venkat Narayan and Sudha, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Time for us to take a quick break.